Hey, good morning, everyone. Dennis K here with Belize Islands Real Estate. Hope you're all doing well today. I'd like to give a big shout out to Kara, who bought me today's coffee. Appreciate that. And I'm looking forward to working with you guys here real soon. I know we've been on a Zoom call. It's been a couple months now, but I just got your most recent email. Looks like you guys are ready to pull the trigger, so congratulations. Let's jump on another call just to refresh my conversation with you, and then we'll hopefully find you something here in the next few days. Anyway, today's video is about boating in Belize. So first of all, if you guys need some inspiration, if you guys are just feeling down right now saying, you know what, I got to get out of here. I got to get down to Belize. And I don't know when that's going to be, but I just got to get down there, you know. And if you're just looking for some pick-me-up, I'm going to include a link below to Kelly McGuire. Kelly McGuire is an artist, a musician, songwriter, singer, whatever you want to call him. But he came out with an album called Boat in Belize. And several of the songs on the album are about Belize itself, Ambergris Cays, San Pedro, and whatnot. So check that out. Tell you what, if you listen to that and you don't feel inspired to just pick up and move today, I don't know what will. Whenever I listen to that, it brings back so many memories of Steph and I sitting on the end of the Sueño dock, having a few Bellicans, and just, you know, being at Ramon's Village. We saw him live at Ramon's Village a couple times and other places. So anyway, just really, really good album. It'll really get you in the mood for Belize. Oops. So this thing's still taping? All right. All right, there you go. So that brings me to the subject of today's video, which is boating in Belize. Can I have a boat? Can I drive a boat? What is required? Well, absolutely you can have your own boat. Steph and I had our own boat. It was a deck boat. You know what a pontoon boat is, right? So this wasn't a pontoon, but this was a deck boat. So it was a real boat, right? It had a fiberglass hull, but the benefit is that boat has a very shallow draft. So when you do go to choose your boat in Belize, you want to choose something like what they call a Mexican skiff or a deck boat, or something that doesn't draft very much at all, because the waters in and around Ambergris Cays are very shallow. And if you want to go out to the reef, you know, there's a lot of coral out there. So you don't want anything like a Boston Whaler or a deep V hull, something like a Four Winds or even like a Sea Ray. But you definitely want to go with a shallower bottom boat. Those are going to work perfect for exploring all the waters, all the islands in and around Ambergris Cays. The question has come up, should you buy a boat for transportation, like, you know, to and from the mainland, or to and from some of the other islands? No, not necessarily. That's not a good use of the boat. I mean, it looks small on the map, but for instance, between Ambergris Cays and Belize City is 40 miles, right? So I don't think you'd ever want to take your boat into Belize City anyway, but definitely just take a water taxi or just fly Tropic Air. So use your boat, though, in and around Ambergris Cays or Caye Caulker or some of those places. Or if it's seaworthy, I would go out to Turniff, you know, spend a couple days out at Turniff if the boat's seaworthy, and just enjoy the heck out of the waters. Some benefits to having your own boat are obvious, right? Anytime you want to pick up and cast off those lines and go, you can do it. So you can snorkel, dive, fish, sunbathe. Some of Steph and I's favorite afternoons is when we took the boat out by Cayo Espanto, which is on the backside just south of Secret Beach. Anchor out there in the middle of nowhere, all right? Kick up some reggae tunes, open a bottle of wine. One time we had dolphins come right up to the boat. You know, those kind of memories you just never forget. So use a boat like that. Use a boat for transportation. Some of you are looking at properties that are currently off-grid and off-road. So you're going to be using a boat to go back and forth to town and for different things like that. So one thing to consider on that is, let's say you own a property north of the split on the west side of the island, like Gary and Julie, like you're looking at doing. So you could say to yourself, okay, I'm going to run into town, but you don't necessarily need to run all the way into town just with your boat. What I mean by that is, let's say you have a golf cart or you use some other means to get around the island. You could just take the boat down to Secret Beach, or just take it anywhere where there's a convenient place to tie up to for maybe 2 or 3 hours, go about your business and come in. Same thing with you guys who are staying very far on the north side of Ambergris Cays. For example, there's a really good deal right now. I'm talking smoking hot deal that is just about a mile north of the new Margaritaville property. It's a direct beachfront property, incredible price. And if you want more information on that, hit me back. So you might say to yourself, okay, but to get from there all the way back into town, it's going to take me, quite a while because, 14 miles by boat and you have to weave in and out of some coral a little bit. But what you could do instead is just take your boat down to somewhere more convenient. Try to find somewhere, let's say where the water taxi runs to, and then park your boat. You get permission, of course, and you just tie up your boat for a couple hours or for the day at someone's dock. It's easy to arrange things like that, and then you jump on the water taxi, right? So instead of spending all your gas money and your time with your own personal boat, which you can do, just take the boat from there down to maybe like Exton Ha area or Tranquility Bay or somewhere like that, where the water taxi is going to come and get you, and they have a schedule, so you can do that, right? Same thing, guys, just as a side point, for those of you who are owning property up north. For example, some of you are buying property in and around, what's it called? Habanero subdivision, right? So for you guys, that's 9.5 miles north of San Pedro town. You could easily take your golf cart into town, and depending how the road is, that might take you some time, or it might be a smooth ride. But what I suggest for you guys is, don't necessarily rely on the golf cart to get around all the time. Just rely on those water taxis. I mean, that's what they're there for, and they're very reasonable. So think about that. Back to the boating issue. All right, so everyone thinks of the dream of owning their own boat, and they say that the two happiest days of a boat owner's life is the day they buy and the day they sell. So what are the disadvantages of a boat? Well, you got to maintain it, right? And in Belize, we do have that tropical weather, that salt weather. So what I found, at least with my boat, I'm not very handy, I'm not mechanical, but a lot of times I went to use my boat and something would have to be, I don't know, repaired or fixed on it. And just because I'm not very handy, it was always a hassle for me. Like, one time I went and the batteries were dead, or one time I went and the shifter wasn't working properly. Well, it's an easy fix for somebody, but it wasn't an easy fix for me. So I thought, it gets to be a hassle. I thought about the expense. If I sold the boat, I don't have to pay dockage fees. I don't have to pay for repairs. And anytime I do want to go out on the water, well, I know a lot of captains, good friends with them, and they can take me anywhere I want to go. That's true, but I lost my freedom then, right? I no longer had the freedom to just go whenever I want, just have Steph and I out on the water for the day, things like that. So, but I guess it's a convenience thing, right? Do you want the convenience of calling up a captain and say, hey, pick us up at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning? We're going to spend 3 or 4 hours in the water. When you're done, you pay them, and boom, you're done, right? So you just had a wonderful day. And the benefit of that is that the boat captains know where to take you. And what they can do too is they can give you some privacy. As an example, there's some boat captains, you can say, you know what? I want to have a romantic picnic, my wife and I. We're packing a picnic basket. I got some wine in there, got some food, whatever, and I got a little boombox, showing my age. We got a little wireless speaker, so we're just drop us off somewhere. Drop us off on that island over there, that French Key. Drop us off there and pick us up in 3 hours. That's a fun afternoon, let me tell you. That's awesome. You're out there, private island, all to yourself, and then he comes back in 3 hours, picks you up. If there's an emergency, you got a cell phone, just call and say, hey, look, come back early, I'm getting sunburnt, or I ran out of beer, or something like that. So think about all those things when it comes to enjoying the heck out of the island life. What else do I have to say about a boat? Definitely buy a boat there. Don't bring a boat down. You get hit with the stamp tax or the import tax. Buy a boat there. There's always somebody that needs to sell their boat. It could be a local, could be somebody from America who moved down and now they have to move back for some reason, so they're selling their boat. You can always find a boat on the island. Don't worry about that. And again, one more thing regarding sailboats. If you guys like to sail, monohulls are not good for Belize. They draft too much. Definitely go with a catamaran. All right, catamarans are okay. Even there, you gotta be careful because your bigger cats, like your 50-foot cats, they can draft what 2.5, 3 feet, depending. So you gotta watch out for that. A lot of coral, which makes it beautiful. I mean, the coral and that coral heads in the shallow waters, that's where all the awesome snorkeling is. That's where all the awesome diving is. So take that into consideration. You do need a boat captain's license. That's not difficult to get. Email me more about that. Once you get down there, have your property and your residence. I got my boat captain's license. It took me 2 or 3 weeks. Guys at the harbor are great to work with. They'll have you do a written test, and then they'll take you out for a physical test. You got to drive the boat around, turn to port, turn to starboard, go fast, go slow, dock in and out, all that kind of good stuff. So it's worth it. It's worth it, and it's a lot of fun. So let me know if you have any questions. If you want to jump on a Zoom call, hit me up on the link below. Go ahead, take care of Steph and I. Buy us a couple cups of coffee. We so appreciate that. We really do. We have a serious addiction. We're not going to hide that. And we love our little Starbucks. And you guys' support means the world to us. We keep making videos. We keep getting on these Zoom calls. And we're just having the time of our lives. So I hope you guys are too. Need to know anything at all about Belize? Again, let's jump on the Zoom call. Hit us up. And I hope to see you in paradise soon.